a big question I get asked as a journalist is how do you come up with different article ideas?
Okay. Yeah.
And my response is there's news absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, no matter where you go, if you're on social media, there's 100% news.
Presented by Sacramento Educational Cable Consortium. You're listening to Lights, Camera, Learn. All right, welcome to another episode of Lights, Camera, Learn. I've got with me today a student, Pia Mañez, with Franklin High School here in Elk Grove Unified School District here in Sacramento. Welcome. So glad to have you here. So I want to just dive right into your background, but first, give us an idea of all the things that you're currently involved in, both media related, sports related, all the things.
So for school, specifically for school, right? For school, I'm obviously a co-producer for Wildcat TV, one of two student co-producers, and I'm also involved in AVID, which is a college prep class.
Okay.
And then I'm also, this year I started doing yearbook, and then I'm also a student president for a club on campus.
What club is that?
It's the American Red Cross Club.
Okay.
And then I'm also a sports manager for two sports, one being girls flag football, which is going on in the fall, so right now. And then the second one is women's basketball, which is happening in the winter.
Okay. And did you mention the Sac Ed Beat?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so outside of school, I'm also part of a student-led journalism program, which is basically called Sacramento School Beat.
Okay.
And it's a really cool program just because it's mainly it's from students all around Sacramento, and we just come together and once a month we'll write articles and it'll be posted on one website. So that's just pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yes.
So I'll want to put a pin in that for a moment, but just kind of ask, did you ever have an aha moment that said, okay, I want to be a journalist, I want to write? Or what was it that got you to that?
Well, specifically for the Sac School Beat program, I just noticed a lack of student voice outside of schools.
Okay.
Just because a lot of schools, not even a lot of schools have a news reporting broadcasting team. So it was just a really cool opportunity that's like, oh, this isn't just tied to one school and it's not limited to one area. It's all of Sacramento, which I find that it's really amazing to be part of.
Yeah.
And it's also just it gives students so much creative freedom because our bosses always tell us that they will never say, no, you can't do the story, but they'll always just look at what we're doing and just give feedback.
Sure.
And that's really it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So with regard to that, then you're covering school, what happens in the school, or what does the beat actually look like in terms of what you're writing about?
So as I kind of touched on before, we do have complete creative freedom.
Yeah.
So what I like to write stories about is I do write stories about my school, but also just my Elk Grove community in general.
Okay.
Previously, I've written about a local bookstore.
Uh-huh.
And also our animal shelter.
Okay.
Which was an amazing story to write just because I got to see so many amazing animals.
I bet you
Yeah.
did. Yeah. Was that something that you already knew about, the shelter, or did you just kind of start hunting around for story ideas?
Well, the shelter, it was just, I knew that pretty much mostly every community kind of had a shelter.
Yeah.
And I've been following the Elk Grove shelter specifically for a while, and I've just always noticed that, and in any place too, there's always overcrowding for shelters normally. So it was just a really interesting story to do. And it kind of has two purposes. I can go in there and look at animals myself and talk to them.
True.
And also just bring more awareness to how many animals are in the shelter and how many of those animals specifically need help. And for the animal shelter, there's so many amazing programs that people can go through. They can, I forgot the name of it, but it's this place where it's this program where it's a doggy out day, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's basically about you get to take or babysit a dog for a week, I think.
Oh, so somebody comes in and volunteers to take the dog back to their home.
Yeah, and it just gives animals, it just lets them be anywhere else but the shelter.
Yeah.
So it just gives them a break or like a mini vacation. So I think that was like a really cute program they did, and I was really excited to talk about that. And specifically with that article, I also wrote it during the holidays. So it was also like people can donate treats and toys to the animals. So
that's great. Yeah. So you're able to tell people that was an option for them, and if they couldn't adopt one of the animals, they could at least provide some of those elements to those.
Yes. I wanted to just highlight that even if you can't adopt, there's always ways to help animals, and animals always need love and care.
Yeah, that's
they're
true.
They're animals that can't really talk, so you kind of have to be the voice for them.
They rely on us.
Yeah, so and I'm a really big animal lover. I have a dog at home, so it was kind of like, animals need to be loved by and cared by everyone, no matter what.
Yep. So tell me a little bit then about in class, when you're in the media class, what's your role and what does that look like?
So I'm one of 2 student co-producers, which basically we help facilitate and manage the shows and make sure that everything's going smoothly. We provide directions to people to make sure that everyone knows what they're doing.
Okay.
And then we also, if someone is absent or we just need to fill in people, we basically like fill in for them.
Okay. Yeah.
So if an anchor isn't here on time, I usually help read for them. If we need someone for audio, like anyone in the studio who just needs help, we always are there to help them.
Okay.
And then we also work with our teacher, Mrs. Williams, to just create a schedule and a calendar and just make sure that everything's running smoothly.
Okay. So were you taking this kind of class before this year? Because you're a senior, correct?
Yes, I am.
So have you been doing that role for a while, or did you have another class when you were a junior or sophomore that kind of led into this?
So I didn't start this program until I was a junior. When I was a junior, I got recommended by Miss Williams just because she was like, she knows how much I love writing. Yeah. And she was like, oh yeah, you'd be great for Wildcat TV. So when I joined, I became a lead scriptwriter for my junior year of high school. And then my junior year, I worked really hard. I showed up, I filled in for a lot of people. And then that led to me being one of 2 co-producers for my senior year. So it was just really amazing. And media itself, it's just always been like a really big passion of me. So just to be part of something like and have like a really important role, it just made me like, it just makes me really happy.
What is it that makes you passionate about media?
Specifically with media, I just love the voice I'm able to like. Sorry, let me.
That's okay. Yeah.
Wait, pause. I'm really passionate just about how I'm able to like express myself in so many different ways through media. Yeah. Like through our scripts, I can add like fun ad libs or like fun phrases that I know will get people's attention. And there's just so many things I'm passionate about it. Specifically like I said, student voice, I'm really like a big fan of that, and I advocate for that a lot. And it's just like being able to represent not only our program but our school. It's just really like amazing to do. And for Wildcat TV, our entire school basically watches this show, so it's kind of like we're helping so many different people out with spreading information, because not everyone's going to check their email, especially with teens, especially with students. They're not going to want to check their email every day. So it's like watching our show every single day, even though most of them might not pay attention through most of it or parts of it. They'll sometimes hear certain things and they'll be like, oh, that deadline is tomorrow, or that deadline is. So it's just, I'm also really big on helping people. Like my main goal in life is I just want to make a change and like help everyone. So it's like this is kind of part of that. So
okay. So what kind of feedback do you get from your fellow students with regard to the program?
A lot
Wildcat News.
A lot of people talk about how helpful it is, just because like I said before, we talk a lot about deadlines. We emphasize it every single day, like something is due today, guys, it's due today. So a lot of people kind of come to me and been like, oh yeah, we like rely on your show a lot, like we really need it. And especially like We don't have shows for certain weeks. Like the quarter just started, so we don't have a show for a while.
Okay.
And people have already come up to me and been like, Pia, we need a show.
When is the show?
Yeah, we need a show. Like we need a. And there's also for Wildcat TV, people like certain clubs and just organizations on campus, they're able to come in and have like a spotlight.
Okay.
And at our school, there's like always events going on. There's always something. There's always something going on. Yeah. So there's so many people who want to like spread that information themselves and have a takeover. So whenever we have our weeks that we can't really do our show, so many people, like I think 2 or 3 club has already asked me like, Pia, when can we go on the show? Pia,
so they're anxious to tell their story.
Yeah. And something that I also forgot to mention is I'm part of a leadership commission at my school.
Okay.
It's called Random Acts of Kindness.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of our weeks is next week actually, and next week is when we also start our first show. So we wanted to do a takeover like this week just so we can spread that information out, but we unfortunately couldn't. So that's like just one of an example of how much this show affects like everyone at our school basically.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So with so many things going on, Pia, how do you balance your day and your evening?
Well, at first, no matter what I do, how old I am, I'll always run into mistakes, and I'll always have learning. Yeah, I'll always go through like a learning curve. But I think for me, especially this year, with the help of my parents and my teachers, I've really been trying to like have a calendar. Yeah. And normally, I have a really close relationship with my mom, so every single time something comes up, I'll always text her and be like, I'll text her the most random things at the most random times, and I'll just be like if I have a flag football game, I'll text her randomly during one of my classes, and I'll just be like, game. But then
Okay.
Both of us will understand that it's flag football and there's a game.
So there's a shorthand between the two of you that you both understand.
Yeah. And also, I use a lot of sticky notes. I have notes on my phone, and I just write random things, but then I know that when I come back, even though it's just one word, I'll understand myself, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I need to do that.
Okay. So what got you interested in being a sports manager, a team manager?
So I was always interested in sports, not to actually play it, just because I think I'm pretty unathletic. But all my siblings have done a sport. Okay. So I'll always be watching them, and I'm really competitive. So it's like whenever one bad thing happens to them, I'm like yelling at the crowd, and I'm like, hey, why'd you do that? Okay. I remember my brother did wrestling, and every single time he got pinned down, I wouldn't really understand the rules, but I was like, hey, you can't do that. But then they can do that. Yeah. So for my first article for Sacramento School Beat, I actually wrote about flag football just because my junior year, it was when flag football was first implemented as a sport for girls. So I thought that was a really cool, like, it was just an amazing opportunity for a story. So I was like, I want to jump on that quick. So once I started interviewing and getting to know the girls, I actually became close. I had a class with one of the flag football girls, and I was talking about how like, I think it'd be cool to be a manager, just because, I kind of gained like some credibility. Yeah. Like I wrote an article about you guys. I'm really passionate about sports. My sister played flag football, and I was like, I just love cheering and being part of something. And she was like, I can definitely like put in a good word for you. And then so it happened. And then just one game I just showed up and I started learning a few things. And then I was a manager for flag last year, and it carried on to this year because I just loved it so much. Yeah. And also being a girls flag football manager, I became really close with the coach, who is also one of the coaches for basketball, for women's basketball. So he was like, hey, if you want to coach
so that's
for
how
basketball.
You got into basketball.
Yeah. So it was just that, it was kind of like a domino effect. Yeah. And it was just really cool, just amazing to be part of, and a really amazing experience too.
So I was going to ask you, with regard to that, the sports side of things. So you already answered a question I was going to ask you about whether you've written any stories, but have you done other sports related stories since that one that you did on flag football?
Yes. One of the articles I'm currently working on is actually about female athletes and how they're always undermined by male athletes, but then they still rise to the occasion and just use that to work harder.
Yeah.
I've interviewed 3 girls and 1 coach about it in that article, and I'm just really proud of that article because reading through these girls' responses, they always talk about how, yeah, they've been put down just because they're a female athlete,
right.
but they still, some of the girls I've interviewed, all of the girls I've interviewed, actually, they're just amazing players. I've seen them on the field. Like, they're talked about by multiple of my friends, and they're like, yeah, this is an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
So it's just really amazing. It's just really cool to hear their side and know that they had hardships, but then seeing them on the field and seeing them in the sport they play, it's like, yeah, I would have never guessed that you had to go through all that. So it's just really...
Well, it's great that you're able to then take what you're already passionate about in terms of writing and then shine a light on something most people wouldn't know about.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, with regard to the things that you're writing about, are there any particular things beyond what kind of the general ones that we've talked about that you really like, that you're drawn to, the kind of stories you're drawn to?
The kind of stories I'm drawn to. I'm normally really interested in like community stories just because it draws in a bigger audience.
Yeah.
Like as I mentioned before, I wrote an article about not only the animal shelter but also a local business, a local a local bookstore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
It's called A Seat at the Table.
I've heard of it. Yes.
Yes. One of the owners is actually my school counselor.
Oh, you're kidding. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's also a really cool bookstore just because they're so inclusive.
Yeah.
Like they really, when they say that everyone was welcome, they really mean it. So just walking in there and they have all these like pride flags, like acceptance flags, like it's just really... I keep saying amazing, but
that's okay.
But
that's
it's really
right.
just like walking in there and you immediately feel welcome.
Sure.
Like you don't even have to talk to anyone. Well, you can, but like the second you're there, you just look around and you're like, yeah, I feel completely welcome. A lot of their books also tie into. They're really big on the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
Just because they're really undermined too. So extremely so. Just walking in there, they have all these different flags. They have a lot of like books. Yeah. And they cater to a wide variety of people who are also struggling on the inside, but then just don't see it. So it's just like it feels really comforting just to being in there. And
was that the gist of your article?
Yes. It was basically their inclusivity. I thought that it was really amazing. And
Okay, that's great. So far, what's the toughest story you've covered and written about?
So one of the most recent articles I've written about was actually about the changes to the Board of Education.
Okay.
And it was really tough for me just because it was a political piece and I'm still really young. So a lot of people, especially with politics, a lot of people don't really take people my age seriously when it comes to that topic.
You're going to be a future voter, not in another year.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like I was pretty nervous to do that article just because I also had to really remain unbiased. Yep. And I had to make sure that every word in my article just had no tone kind of. Yeah. And interviewing, it was mainly all adults. So it was a pretty scary thing to do just because it was an important topic, but it was also a topic that a lot of people have opinions about.
Sure. Yeah.
So getting in contact with those people, basically saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a student. I'm a student from Franklin. I want to do a piece about something like this." So I was prepared for so many adults to turn me down and be like, "No, I don't think I want to talk about this in like a high schooler's article."
Right.
So.
But is that the response you ended up getting, or was it different?
I was actually really surprised. Every single person that I asked to be interviewed, or actually one, all but one wanted to be interviewed, and the one that didn't want to be interviewed, she was actually a student.
Okay.
She was a student board member, and yeah, I think it was mainly scheduling.
Yeah.
Because it was written like in May, so graduation month. So yeah, but then and also writing an article in that time and going to graduations because I had senior friends, it was also just really hard to work around. And originally it was supposed to be an article between me and one other person, but then again I lost her to graduation because she was a senior. So that was also tough, knowing that I kind of had to work around that. And originally the article was supposed to like interview different principals from different schools. But then again, since I lost one more person, I kind of had to focus it on just the district board. Yeah. So yeah, but then it turned out pretty good.
I bet it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much research into how boards work did you have to do before you wrote that article?
I had to go into the Elk Grove Unified School District. They have I think more than a couple meetings a month, and I had to go into their like actual plan of what went down in each meeting, and I had to read through all through all of those. And then this is also happening like in the country, so I kind of had to go through those files, and my bosses had to send me other articles about it for inspiration. They sent me a lot of statistics, so I had to go through a lot of reading, a lot of statistics, and just a lot of information. And it was stressful also because I couldn't include every single thing that I saw in those articles. So it's like I had to kind of...
Then you're making a documentary.
Yeah, exactly. So then I had to make it like a little short, but then just still get my point across. Yeah. And then,
I think, having worked in the media myself for a bit, I think the one thing that you're pointing out here is that people don't understand the work that goes into putting an article together. And you already kind of talked about just how much you did just for that one article, just so that you understood what was happening so you could write intelligently about it. Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, it's definitely like multiple times where I'd have to bug them and be like, hey, so I sent you an article, I sent you questions, and at times it was a bit frustrating because it was just like, all you have to do is like respond, but then it's also like I had to show empathy, and I had to be like, okay, there's probably a reason for that. So I just had to, I really, one of the things I learned about being in that journalism program, you just really have to be patient.
Sure.
Like just patient, and hold a smile and be patient.
And persistent. Yes, that's for sure. So, in terms of working as a kind of producer then, or not kind of, you are a producer on your school newscasts, what goes into producing a segment or a show?
So producing a segment or a show, like we normally, like how every show is put on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're sitting in your set right now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we are here.
Yeah.
So we always look for information, whether it's through social media, our emails, because again, students are going to check that, so we kind of have to check that. Yeah. And then our leadership department makes it easy. We kind of have like an activity list of what's going on every month.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's really helpful. Yeah. So we kind of look through those, and if there's a big event going on, like we have a fall festival for freshmen coming up, we always try to make a video about like very big events to just encourage more people to go and just bring more awareness to it. So we'll have our media program is 0 and first period. So first period, we kind of just have to focus on getting the show done. So first period, it's a little more calmer just because we're not always being rushed.
And is this every day or just different days of the week, or how often do you produce these? Produce the Wildcat News
we
show.
Normally have it every day.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's every day, but if we're starting a quarter or it's finals,
Yeah.
or AP testing, then certain weeks we can't do it. Just
Sure.
just because we can't like distract others.
Yep.
But for the majority of it, it's pretty much every day. And even when we're not having a show, we're still doing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're still planning for a lot of other things. Like right now, we don't have a show, but we're still having crew meetings.
Yeah.
So that's tomorrow and Friday. Yeah. So, and even before that, like I said, it's also a first period class, and and that class is every day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we still have to plan videos and plan what's going to be going on this term.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. So of the different things that you've worked on so far, what do you think you're learning that you can apply not just to future as a journalist, if that's where you continue to go, but just life in general?
Right. So as I was saying before, I've definitely learned how to be patient.
Yeah.
Just because I'm working with so many different types of people, and also keeping track of everything.
Yeah.
Like this year, I actually really started making sure that I keep everything in calendar and sticky notes, and just having a better game plan and just a better laid out schedule. So and so far, having a calendar, it's obviously really
especially
helpful.
with all that you have going on, I don't know how you would do it without one.
Yeah, so it's obviously just really helpful. And like I said, like whenever I have a calendar, I write it and I make it fun for myself. Like I have it in different color pens. This color is for this, da 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 da.
Yeah.
So so just those like things that I just make fun for myself. So it's really just helped me get in the habit of actually wanting to write down stuff, because it's just like, oh, I get to use my new blue pen.
Right.
Like it's just like those little things, but I make it fun in my own way, where I can actually want to pay attention and want to look at my calendar.
Sure.
And those type of stuff. So just being patient, definitely.
Yeah.
And also just being more organized with a lot of different stuff, just because, I'm in a lot of different extracurriculars.
Those are good things to know to carry on later.
Yeah. So, and also just always having a smile on your face and just walking in with positive energy.
That's good for anybody.
And just,
Yeah.
And just going in knowing that it's a new day. I just really love, starting the day off being positive, just with a smile on my face. And and also smiles are extremely contagious. So,
yes, they are.
So if someone's especially laughs too,
Right.
Yeah. So
So I would imagine, also some of the things, one in particular that at least I've talked with other folks that work, on newscasts or anything where you're putting something, collaboration and communication have to be pretty important, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we just, sorry, repeat your question.
That's okay. So just talk a little bit about, what you've learned relative to collaborating with lots of different people to put something like a newscast together, and how important clear communication is. Because especially the latter, if it's not there, then people are going to be either confused or something's not going to work right.
Yeah. So, our show is every day, so having communication of who's anchoring for what day is so extremely needed. We have different group chats for because we have a really big crew, so we kind of have to split that in half.
Okay.
And switch off between those 2 weeks. So we have iMessage group chats just because we used to use GroupMe, but then again, a lot of teens aren't gonna get a second app just to text. So just making it easier for them. And we're really big on communication. My co-producer and I, we always make sure that we're on the same page and that we help everyone else get on the same page. And for takeovers and working just with different people, we do have a takeover form, and we always ask for contacts. And
what, for the folks out there that don't know what a takeover form is, explain what that is.
Okay, so a takeover is basically when on-campus club or organization or commission want to advertise for a specific event or just anything in general that they have going on. So they'll fill out a takeover form, which basically they'll provide us dates on what day they want to be on the show.
Yeah.
And then once the day comes, they'll basically take over our show.
Okay, so the entire show is about that particular
Yes.
event or club or what have you. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and we'll make graphics for them in the back, and we can have different props for them. And
Okay.
if they're in sports, we always ask them to wear their jerseys.
Yeah.
And anything that kind of like shows that you're part of something.
Yeah.
Specifically sports, like I said, with jersey, that's a really big thing. And
Okay, that's great. You already answered that one. Answered that. So, are there any particular challenges, Pia, that you've had to overcome doing not just all the things that you have, because you mentioned keeping a track and having a calendar, but was there anything in the writing part of it, or being a journalist, or working with the SAC Ed Beat, any of that that were particularly challenging, and then how did you overcome that?
So for Sacramento School Beat, it's kind of like pretty much all online.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we'll have monthly meetings on Zooms where we'll talk, and then the rest of the school year, it's kind of just like emails and Zoom calls.
Yeah.
And it's only towards like summer training and also the end of the year we'll have an in-person event.
Okay.
But then just that middle like area, just trying to get a story going without supervision all the time, and always we kind of just have to rely on email and just hope that I have good connection and it goes through.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a big challenge for me, just because there will be times where I'll go on vacation or my bosses will go on vacation. So it's kind of like I have to wait to answer. I have to wait for my question to be answered.
Yeah.
So how I've overcome that is just when they'll always back with communication. We all have clear communication. Like if my bosses are going out of town, they'll always let us know, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll make sure to get my questions before that time.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then I just wait until after.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but but overall we have pretty good communication, and even though it's online, I still think that it's going really well.
So everybody that you have to work with in this environment is pretty responsive, I would imagine.
Yes.
Again, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
pretty responsive. And we also, because we're still teens, we all we all follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
I have some of their numbers. If I have any questions, I'll just shoot them a DM or a text.
Yeah.
And so.
And these are teens all around the county, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So different schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know some people there's so many schools where I was just like, oh, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
But it's like all across Sacramento. They even include private school students.
Okay.
So like Jesuit and St. Francis, I know that they include them.
Yeah.
And it's just so amazing knowing so many different people from different schools, where it's like, if without this program, I would have never met you.
No, that's
So,
true.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's great. So, what kind of advice would you give to students who are interested in getting into journalism, or at least trying it?
To get into journalism, usually, like class-wise or just...
Yeah, just in general, if somebody's thinking, well, I might be interested in that, I don't know, but what do I do? Where do I even start?
Well, a big question I get asked as a journalist is, how do you come up with different article ideas?
Okay, yeah.
And my response is, it's kind of broad, but it's also like there's news absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
Like no matter where you go, if you're on social media, there's 100% news all the time.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yep.
So just knowing, and there's always like certain topics that people are interested.
Yeah.
So just knowing what to say about those articles and how to like zoom in on a certain topic just to get people, just to create questions and get people interviewed. And also, if you're taking a journalism class or a digital media class, I would definitely say to take it seriously and use your resources, because a lot of high schools don't even have the high level equipment that that Franklin has. So it's just like whatever you're able to use that. Because
so I'm gonna just say, so for folks that are there watching, can you describe what the rest of the studio looks like?
So just in this room we have a lot of different green screens. So
you've got an anchor desk behind you. You've got another one off to your left, right? And then we've got a complete bank of lights. Right?
And we have 4 huge cameras. And we also
with
have
teleprompters. Right?
And we also have a control room with mics. We have a lot of different mics. We have handhelds and we have lavs. We have computers surrounded. And
you have a whole bank of computers over here so people can edit the stories, right?
And then we also have even more in our control room. And we just have so many different resources and just really good equipment, just like high level equipment. So I would definitely say take it seriously. And note and utilize your resources, because after high school, who knows? And that's just and also just like I said, take it seriously, because you never know if you might actually enjoy it. So
one of the things that I think, Pia, is that anybody in journalism, and for that matter any job you do, but I think the key for people who want to do what you do is being curious. So how would you describe how you stay curious even at your young age? Because there's a lot of things obviously that you still are out there trying to explore and find out.
I think what makes me curious is that there's always multiple factors to everything I see. So there's always a story behind everything. Like even for the studio, with all this equipment, it already makes me wonder like how much money it is. How much time did it take to get all of this equipment? What was it like in the beginning? Like
there's a story.
There's
a story for you.
So there's always a story there's always a story about everything. Everyone has their own story.
They do.
And even for a small topic like on the internet, there's probably just so many subtopics around that. So just knowing that there's so many multiple pieces to everything. So it's just the questions you want to ask, like not high, but the hows, the whys, the whats, and the whos.
And sometimes I think that people even forget that their own families have stories that you could tell. Have you ever done anything on any of your family?
For Sacramento School Beat, we can't normally normally like mention our family, but even I look at my parents and I'm always still curious about their story. My mom grew up in the Philippines. And my dad was a huge athlete.
Really?
So it's just knowing their stories, and they still talk about it to this day. So it's kind of like, no matter where you are in life, you'll always remember your backstory and so many different other stories. And and I just think that's really amazing. And just memories in general, they never really leave. And if they're gone for a while, they always come back, and they're just always there.
So if you look ahead at what you want to do you want to pursue journalism as a career? And then what does that look like for you, if it is, or what else are you considering at this point?
So after high school, I really want to get into screenwriting. And I hopefully am going to LA to pursue that, just because I also grew up in LA. I was born.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I was born there. And so growing up, I was surrounded by a lot of media. And my parents would always take us to Disneyland, and we would see all these Disney characters, and I would always ask myself, oh, where did they come from? And then my parents would show us the movies, and then I specifically remember a time when we were living in LA where I don't know who walked up to us, but there was a guy who walked up to us, and he basically offered us an opportunity to preview a movie before it aired.
Yeah.
And it was a movie called Pan that came out in 2015.
Yeah.
So I remember being in a movie theater. They gave us a pen and paper to write down our thoughts, and we were going through it. And I remember being so focused, and I was like, okay, what do I like about this story? Like, what could they improve on? And I remember taking it so seriously. And I still even remember my responses that I put.
What were some of them?
For the movie Pan, I think I was a kid and I didn't fully understand everything yet. So there was a part in the first half where Pan gets dropped off, or someone is getting dropped off by their mom in front of a door.
Okay.
Or they just left their baby somewhere. And I remember talking about how, like, I don't like this because their mom leaves them.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like that kid response, but it was like I was really passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I remember talking about how I loved the happy ending it had.
Yeah.
And I just loved certain characters. But it was, even though I didn't fully understand, like, oh yeah, that was kind of like how the story was.
Right.
But it was just the fact that I put so much effort into it, and I was really thinking about it. And also, I'm just really a big fan of writing.
Yeah.
And writing in media, it's kind of, that's where screenwriting came from.
Yeah.
Because I also, on my own, I kind of write my own stories and certain scripts, and I'll make so many different like TV show ideas and movie ideas in my head, and just writing it out or just remembering what it was. Yeah. It's just really fun for me, and it just makes me, it already gives me like so much hope, because I'm like, oh my gosh, when this airs, everyone's gonna love it. My parents are gonna be so proud. Like this, I'll always tell my parents, I was like, yeah, when my movie comes out, I'll like let you come. Yeah. It's just the fact that I put so much effort into something that I really loved, and I actually found a really great hobby. And that's also another thing. A lot of people, still, even at my age, they still don't know what to do, which is extremely okay.
There's people that get into college, and they're in college and they still don't know.
Yeah. So it's just, I'm just really proud of myself, and also just glad that I was able to know what I wanted to do since I was like a little kid, and just really pursue that and continue to pursue that, and have such a still like a growing interest as the years go by. So honestly, it's just like sometimes, like whenever I do something big, like once I became a co-producer for Wildcat TV, I remember having a dream that I high-fived myself, like my mini self. So it's just like, even though I can't do everything involved in media, it's still just, there's so many times where like I just take time and I just know that I'm proud of myself, and how far I've come, and how much effort and passion I've put into media and film and writing, and Okay,
I think that's great. Is there anything? Okay, here's what I want to ask you. What would your dream job be? It sounds like it'd be a screenwriter, but maybe there's something else there too.
I really want to. I'm still looking at different companies to work for. Yeah. But obviously, Warner Brothers is a Universal Studios, like that whole entire thing. I even to this day, I kind of go to Universal Studios a lot. Because we have seasonal passes. So every single time we go to Universal Studios, I make it my mission to go on the studio tour. Which is where they'll show like different movies. And it's honestly, I've almost cried every single time I've gone on it, just because it's just like,
it's that emotional.
It's just a surreal like experience. Always telling myself like, hey, one day I could actually be here. So and it's also, Universal Studios have put on a great number of TV shows and movies. So it's just, and it's also in LA where I want to be. So it's, and I just grew up with it, and it's just been around me. So just thinking like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to work here. There's it sounds like you have a plan, and I admire your passion, Pia, because it's not rare, but it's nice to see, particularly at this point where you're
trying to figure out what your future looks like. And it seems like you've got a pretty good idea of what that looks like and what it's going to take to get there.
Yes. My plan is to obviously go to LA.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to interview and want to shadow or have an internship through a big film company, Warner Brothers, Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Paramount Pictures, sorry.
Yeah.
Just all those different things. And I've always had a passion for it, and I've always had interest in it. So it would honestly just be like a dream come true.
Yeah. So last question is, what part do you feel like your teacher or teachers have played in helping you get to this point and helping you facilitate your passion and express it?
So when I was a junior, I was in a digital media class. So my teacher would always introduce us to so many different film competitions, and he would always make us participate in those. And at first I was like, oh my goodness, competition on competition. But then it taught me so much, like how to obviously edit. And in that class we edited, we made scripts, we filmed, we starred. So it was just that really cool opportunity just to have so many different like aspects basically. And then I met Miss Williams and my media teacher in my sophomore year for Avid. And she was talking to, and I would always talk to her about like, oh yeah, I love writing. And that's when she kind of introduced me to being part of Wildcat TV. So once I actually joined, it was just like every day in my head, I always think Miss Williams because.
Well, that's great.
Because it's just like she basically introduced me to all this. So it's just. And it's also just. I'm really happy that I also formed a connection with her, just because anytime that I have any questions about media, I'm like never afraid to ask her at all. So it's also just her bubbly personality and also just amazing resources like the cameras, this entire setup. So well, I think what you're pointing out is the important role that teachers are playing to help students like you both explore their futures and try to figure out what that looks like. Do you have any last words before we close here? I do want to talk about how for Sacramento School Beat and Wildcat TV, they're both kind of being defunded. So for Sacramento School Beat, we used to, for every article, we used to get paid. It was $100 per article, and then but then we did lose our funding.
Is it a nonprofit?
Yes.
Okay.
So we did lose our funding for that, and we're slowly trying to gain it back. But we have a fundraiser for it. So And then what about, you mentioned this, the Wildcat TV is getting defunded. Yes. So basically, our defunding got pushed to around the winter time. So, but I still want to talk about how it's still important for student voice, obviously, and just cutting something that so many students have an active role in. It's kind of just like,
it's
why?
Hard.
It's definitely hard. Especially because, like I've been saying, I'm an advocate for student voice. And I just love when students are able to be so passionate about something. Even I'm passionate too, but I just love seeing other people being really passionate about wanting, about, like, for Wildcat TV, a lot of people I see every single day, I see a lot of people passionate about whether it's anchoring, and just having a different job. So many people are really just passionate about it. So it's just really amazing seeing that. And the fact that it's getting defunded, it's just...
So if it goes away, obviously you and the rest of the students that are involved just don't have that opportunity anymore, right?
It's kind of like I said before, a loss of student voice and just a loss of this amazing equipment that we have. So,
I have a feeling your teacher will figure out how to hang on to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I trust her. So, but hopefully with all the interviews that we've done.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll help.
Yeah,
And yeah.
I bet it does.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Pia. This has been great. I
Thank you.
appreciate you being on here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's a-
absolutely. Absolutely. So that's it for this episode of Lights, Camera, Learn. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, and on our website at secctv.org. You can also support us on Patreon by clicking on Lights, Camera, Learn. Until the next episode, make it a great day. Thank you.